When you picture an angel, what comes to mind? Probably a gentle figure with soft, white wings, a peaceful face, and maybe a golden halo. That's the image we've seen in art and culture for centuries. But what if I told you the Bible describes something far different? Something that wasn't cute or comforting, but utterly terrifying. The highest-ranking angels, the Cherubim and Seraphim, were beings of immense power and awe. Get ready to have your perception of angels completely shattered. Let's start with the cherubim. These aren't the chubby winged babies from Renaissance paintings. In the Bible, cherubim are powerful guardians of sacred space. They were first mentioned guarding the entrance to the Garden of Eden after Adam and Eve were exiled, preventing humanity from re-entering. Their images were woven into the curtains of the tabernacle and later carved into the walls of Solomon's temple. Most strikingly, two massive golden cherubim stood over the Ark of the Covenant in the Holy of Holies, their wings sheltering the mercy seat, the very place where God's presence dwelled. The prophet Ezekiel gives us the most detailed and mind-bending description. In his vision, he saw 4 living creatures, later identified as cherubim, surrounding the throne of God. Each one had 4 faces: the face of a human, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. They had straight legs with feet like a calf's, gleaming like polished bronze. They had 4 wings, and under their wings were human hands. And they were covered, absolutely covered, with eyes on their bodies, their backs, their hands, and their wings. These eyes symbolized their all-seeing awareness and constant vigilance. When they moved, they shot back and forth like flashes of lightning, and the sound of their wings was like the roar of mighty waters or the voice of the Almighty. These were not comforting companions. They were living symbols of God's omnipresence and power. Now, let's talk about the seraphim. The name itself, seraphim, means the burning ones or the fiery ones. In the vision of the prophet Isaiah, these beings were seen standing above God's throne, even closer to him than the cherubim. They were beings literally made of fire. Each seraph had 6 wings. With 2 wings, they covered their faces, unable to look directly upon the unfiltered glory of God. With 2 wings, they covered their feet, a sign of humility and reverence. And with the final 2, they flew, hovering in the immediate presence of the divine. Their primary purpose wasn't to fight battles or deliver messages to humans, but to lead worship. They constantly cried out to one another in an unending chorus, "Holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory." The sound of their voices was so powerful that it shook the foundations of the heavenly temple, and the entire place was filled with smoke from God's presence. Imagine that scene, beings of pure fire, so mighty they have to shield themselves from God's glory, whose voices shake creation itself. So, why did these angels inspire such fear? Whenever a human in the Bible encountered a being like this, their reaction was never comfort, it was terror. Isaiah, upon seeing the seraphim, cried out, "Woe is me, for I am lost. For I am a man of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." Ezekiel fell flat on his face when he saw the cherubim. No one asked for a hug. No one felt safe. The appearance of these angels was a raw, unfiltered revelation of God's absolute holiness and power. And in that light, human frailty and smallness become painfully obvious. Over time, we've softened the image of angels. We've turned them into friendly guardians and comforting messengers to make the divine feel more accessible and less intimidating. But in doing so, we might have lost something profound. The biblical depiction of cherubim and seraphim isn't meant to be a literal blueprint of what they look like, but to communicate a truth. They are reminders of a divine order, a power, and a holiness that is far beyond our human comprehension. They weren't sent to entertain us. They were sent to reveal the sheer majesty of the God they serve. It leaves us with a final, staggering thought. If these magnificent, terrifying angels, beings of fire and lightning, covered in eyes, must shield themselves and tremble before God, what does that say about the true nature of his glory? Did this description of angels surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey into the Bible's mysteries, Be sure to subscribe for more.